what I'm about to say may upset a few people, or it wouldn't surprise me if at least one person wants to whip out an ancient text and prove me wrong. That may be a temptation some face. But I want to tell you about kind of a life lesson, a life experience that applies to my life, that I think it's possible someone else may benefit from hearing. So, just kind of a background. Whenever I was growing up, I always had this innate sense of what my potential was, inner greatness, or the sense that I was a part of something bigger than myself. You know, Yoda says, luminous beings are we, not this crude matter. That's something I kind of picked up on pretty early on in life. So that was kind of my mindset. I was always very serious, very driven. I would go towards goals full force. That's just kind of my style, my natural tendency. And I always kind of had a sense of how things should be. So, for example, on the playground in elementary school, I would always be kind of bothered by the fact that kids were mean to each other, or bullies existed, things like that. I saw through that and was just like, that it just shouldn't be that way. So, a very deep thinker, like I said, very serious, very goal-oriented early on. But as that went on, as I developed as a person, I noticed, now looking back in retrospect, I noticed that I was developing the pattern of doing activities or going toward goals that would validate that inner sense of greatness. So an example would be in 6th grade, I started band and I played clarinet and did very well. I practiced my butt off. You can ask. Like, I would even practice at midnight. But I loved it and went full throttle. And my freshman year in high school, I made the all-state band. I was 7th. So that was a pretty big accomplishment. And little things like that I would accomplish, well, or big things, whatever, those would kind of validate my inner sense of greatness. So that repeated itself in choir. I competed in choir, almost made all-state, but didn't. But I did get first chair a couple of times. So little things like that. I was a drum major. That's kind of leadership oriented. Not It's musical, but it's also leadership. So things like that I would accomplish, certain awards in school, maybe grades. Those would kind of validate, like, okay, yeah, I'm right. I'm right about how I feel about myself on the inside. I am great because I'm doing these things that are great. They're validating what I've been feeling this whole time. Well, the trouble with that was in college is kind of a rough time. That age range, you kind of figure out who you are. You discover who you want to be, truly. You change your mind a few times. And you may change your ideas on some really key things in life. And that's okay, but a lot can get caught up in the turbulence. So I carried that same mindset, that attack attitude about goal setting, and I was extremely, extremely hard on myself. Kind of a perfectionist. I expected a lot out of myself. And whenever I wouldn't accomplish certain things, or I would get sick and fall behind, that's when all the lupus stuff started coming up, that kind of self-sabotage cycle would just keep going. That perfectionism is kind of a self-sabotage situation to be in. That mindset, it can serve us well, it can help us accomplish things, it can help us be, wonderful people or whatever, but there's a fine line, and I had to learn that, between giving it all you've got and expecting a lot out of yourself and delivering, and, like I said, self-sabotage. It can be destructive after a while if you don't watch it and monitor your mindset. So I noticed over time that I wasn't very happy, for one, but I noticed I would keep doing certain things, trying to accomplish certain things to validate that inner greatness. I finally learned, not too long ago, within the past year, to look at it from the flip side. I am great, therefore I am, is the saying I like to use for myself. I am an infinite being. I have a soul. This is just what I believe. And that soul comes from an infinite source with infinite potential. I tap into that. I try to tap into that and bring that out and empower that which dwells within. And I feel that whenever I was able to do that, everything else kind of took care of itself. I no longer had to work to validate that inner greatness. All it took was me sitting down, sitting still, and realizing what lies within, instead of looking to outside external things to validate something that I should already be really in touch with. It was kind of a hard lesson to learn because I had to break some old thought patterns that I'd had for a very long time that had served me well. I accomplished a lot of my goals. I was in the Chamber Singers. That was a huge life dream, and it came to pass. But I had to unlearn everything I had learned about going for goals, about how I thought about myself, about how much pressure I put on myself, and really focus on I am great, therefore I do great things. Not I do great things, therefore I am great. That may sound spacey. I hope it makes sense. A lot of times people want really good grades, or they want a 6-digit income. They want the certain car. They want the certain house. They want the executive position in the corner office. They want the certain kind of spouse. They want to go to a certain kind of club or be a member of whatever in order to boost their confidence, to boost how they perceive themselves and how others perceive them. You can accomplish a lot like that, but for me, I found that it was slightly destructive, just not the most positive route for me. So I had to sit still and realize, no, I am great. I embody unlimited potential, and that potential can affect other people. That alone is more massive. That realization is more massive than anything I could ever do on this material planet. So, like I said, viewing it from that perspective, which is hard because we're in a society, especially in America, where, certain religious ideas focus on how lowly we are, or that we inherit something that makes us dirty or unworthy, and we need to do things to kind of close the gap. Or we look at magazine covers of photoshopped pictures and compare ourselves to that, and we kill ourselves over diets and on the treadmill. Or, we envy people we work with who have it better than we do financially. We're always comparing ourselves to material things when, like Yoda said, we are luminous beings, not this body we're in, not this stuff that has atoms. Okay, I'm getting really mystical here, bear with me, but I hope this is making sense, or hitting home with someone. So my message to you: you contain infinite potential, infinite greatness. You have no idea how becoming all that you are, what that can do for you, and how it can affect the lives of so many other people. Okay, it's a ripple effect. You light the fire within yourself. That grows and hits other people. Their fires grow. That hits other people. Illumination everywhere. Okay, now I'm getting really mystical and poetic, so I'm going to cut it off right there. Be all that you are. You are greater than you realize, and you can truly do anything. And I hope that as you go on your unique journey to bringing out that inner greatness and realizing all that you are, I hope that you make a difference, a positive difference in the lives of others. So, namaste. Go catch your dream. And as one of my friends would say, spiral out.